Hey there, Catherine Guidry here. Thank you so much for joining me today as we focus on how to level up your photography business with more value-based client and business content. Today, we're going to be talking about how to craft a better client experience for your photography business. If you're interested in learning how to price your photography, be sure to download my free guide in the link below. The thing about being a freelance photographer is that you're automatically a business owner. Building up a successful photography business is dependent upon a lot of things, but one of the main things is going to be your client experience. A strong client experience will lead to raving reviews, referrals, and a fully booked out calendar. All of this will lead to a better photography business so that you can lead the life that you love. The first thing that you need to do when trying to figure out how to create a better client experience is to take a step back. Think about what is it that you enjoy as a client that helps you feel taken care of in terms of your own personal experience. When you hire someone, whether it's a plumber, a house cleaner, or if you're working with someone in a retail store, what is it that makes you take a step back and say, wow, this is stellar service? Incorporate those things into your business because that's what's going to help you stand out and leave that lingering impression on your clients and those who are in the circle of those that you're working with. In this video, there are 10 key touch points that craft a truly unforgettable and out of this world client experience. The first thing is going to be creating connection points that aren't about the wedding at all. Show interest in their lives and let them know that you're a person too. You want to connect on a human level. So talk about your favorite things to do for fun or your dog. Maybe you both have the same aspirations as far as what you want to do with your life or where you want to live, where you enjoy traveling. Any sort of connection point that you can make with your client reminds them that you too are a real person, and it helps them feel more like they're hanging out with a friend instead of a service provider. Treat their event like it is your only one. When we think about going into a store like Chanel or Dior or Gucci, when we walk in, we feel like we are their only client. You want to treat your clients like they're your only one. So what does that look like? It looks like not talking about other clients unless they bring them up. It looks like making them feel special and important, acknowledging how beautiful they look and helping them feel like they are so special because they are. When you're being genuine and showing that genuine interest in your clients, they are going to feel so good working with you. The difference between volume-based and luxury is that there isn't this rush and a surplus of clients. You're focusing in and really giving them your all for every single client. That's what makes the difference. So again, treat that person, treat that event like it's your only one, and I guarantee you it will leave them feeling so good about how their interaction was with you. Let's talk about the energy in the room. You want to be a calming presence. I am a fairly bubbly person and I tend to have pretty upbeat energy, but I also keep things super calm whenever I'm photographing. Weddings can be stressful. There's a lot of family history, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of people in the room. And so as the photographer, you want to be that calming presence when you arrive. You want to let them know that, hey, I'm here to make this day fun, but I'm also here to keep it calm and stress-free. If something goes awry and things aren't going as planned, don't let them know. Keep it cool. I always use the analogy of that I'm a floating duck on a wedding day where above the surface I look calm, but underneath I'm paddling. So you always want to keep your cool, you want to keep things calm so that your client feels at ease. When your client feels at ease, they're going to enjoy their day and they're going to be a lot less stressed out while you're photographing them, which in turn makes better photographs. Be a source of knowledge and value for your clients. Even from the very first initial meeting, when I get on the phone with a client, I'm talking to them about prep locations. I'm talking to them about lighting, everything that I know that can make their experience better. Even in regards to outfits for their engagement sessions. The more tips and tricks that you can offer based on your experience, the better. If you're early on in your career and maybe you don't have that personal experience yet, do some reading. The fact that you're listening to these videos is a great start. You're gathering the knowledge that you need to do better. But even if you're further along, show that. If you're very experienced in the industry and you've been in it a long time, when the clients get on the phone with you for their initial meeting, for their final meeting, or even for the event day of, show your experience. Let them know that, hey, I've been in this situation before. This is the best thing to do. Sometimes for clients, it's their first time ever being married. And in that situation, you really want to come to the table with your experience and knowledge to create the best situation that you can. And even if it isn't the first time that they've been married, I imagine that you have done this more times than they have. You are the expert and you want to show them that, hey, I'm here for you and we're going to make the best case scenario out of this situation as we possibly can. The next way to make an amazing client experience is going to be prepared for anything. As we know, weddings are unpredictable. So when we're making plans for the day, we have a plan A and a plan B, and the day of, we'll probably end up with a plan C. So what do I mean by that? When we're making the timeline, we're making it based off of our best case scenario. However, in the case of rain or snow or wherever you are that maybe we could have some sort of like weather come through and interrupt the original plan, you have a backup location and a backup schedule to accommodate that. And then we have to know in the back of our minds that on the day of the wedding, if something happens that was completely unexpected, it's going to be fine. We know as their service provider that we can make it happen for them no matter what, because we're going to stay calm, we're going to stay cool and collected, and we're going to bring our knowledge all together so that we can still do an amazing job, get the images that they want, and still create that awesome client experience. All right, so we're at number 6 now, and that's going to be flexible, but also stick to the timeline. Okay, how can I do that? Well, you know that you've written the timeline off of realistic expectations. If they have a planner, you've probably worked with the planner on the timeline. However, sometimes things come up. We've had situations where the bride's zipper broke the day of the wedding and she was having trouble getting into her dress. Or maybe the mother of the bride was late to get to the prep and we want to wait for her to do those photos. Whatever the situation is, you have to be flexible. So maybe we run a little bit behind on the front end, but instead I'm going to catch up and work really quickly on the back end to make up for the time lost. Maybe that means that we don't go to multiple locations or we combine some of the family photos. Whatever it is, communicate in advance, stick to your expertise, and make sure that you can make up for the time you've lost on the timeline so that we're able to stick to the schedule. Number 7 for creating an awesome client experience is going to be understanding posing. I actually have an entire posing course that will help you better your posing. I also have a free posing guide in the link below with our go-to posing. But what I really want you to take away in terms of posing is that you want to communicate those poses well to your client. If there's something that's out of place, whether it's their hands, their posture, their smile, whatever it is, make sure that you allow them to feel comfortable and that you're not afraid to say, hey, don't forget about your hand, it looks really stiff. Be assertive and communicate how you want them to look in the photos. Also, let them be themselves. A lot of times we feel like we have to control everything, but if they have a moment between the two of them where he leans over and kisses her on the forehead, capture that. Let them have those in-between moments, and when you need to, step in so that they look their absolute best. Number 8 is going to be to provide clear direction. This isn't just in terms of posing, but this is for the entire day. If you want the client standing in a specific spot facing toward the light, be very clear about that. There's so much going on in the client's mind on the wedding day. They're about to marry the love of their life. And so when you're giving instructions, really take that time to think about what you're saying, craft it in a way that's understandable, and be very clear and concise. One of the things I had to learn myself was that I am there to be a friend on the wedding day, but I'm probably not their best friend, even though it feels like that. So one of the things I actually had to learn was that it's their day to enjoy with their friends and family, and I need to make sure that I am not having a ton of conversations and talking with them when I'm supposed to be capturing them talking with their friends and family. That was something that I had to learn because I really struggled with that, and I loved visiting with my clients, but I had to remember like, oh wait, this is their day, and so I need to step back and be a little bit more of a fly on the wall and capture things as they're happening. Number 9, in order to create that awesome client experience, you want to understand their insecurities. What do I mean by that? When I'm photographing a client, I will ask them specifically about any insecurities that they may have. So I'll say, when I'm photographing you, is there anything that you feel self-conscious about? And people will say things like, my arm, or I don't like my profile, or is there any way that you can like Photoshop out the blemishes that I have on my face? Whatever it is that they have insecurities about, it's really great to open the lines of communication about that so that if you can avoid those things in the photos, that you're able to. I've had gentlemen who are balding at the top of their heads say, you know, I'm really self-conscious about this, and so I'm very cognizant as their photographer to not shoot straight on from the back and get that balding spot. It's good to know these insecurities so that when they're reliving their day, they're not distracted by something that they're insecure about, but rather that they're focusing on those intentional, beautiful moments that were happening at their wedding. And number 10, how to create an amazing client experience when something goes wrong is you need to be unafraid to get on the phone. I know, in modern day, it is not as comfortable to get on the phone. We're so used to texting and emailing and voice memos even, but there's something really beautiful about picking up the phone and hopping on a call. It opens up the ability to talk through things together and have a conversation with your client. Recently, I experienced this for the first time. A client had a concern, and immediately when we got on the phone, it was like everything went away and we were able to connect about the location and really get what she wanted in terms of her images. If clients are feeling some sort of anxiety, whether it's before photos or after, you want to let them know that, hey, I'm here, I'm listening to you, I hear you, and I want to make this right. Clients will really value that personal touch and your ability to just pick up the phone and talk to them about it. I hope these ideas have you on the way to creating that outstanding client experience. At the end of the day, focusing on the client experience is the best way to ensure that your business will have longevity and that it'll be fun in the process as well. If you're looking for more educational resources, be sure to visit the links in the description. We have a ton of that listed below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you the best in your photography, and I hope to continue to bring you more value-based photography content. Bye.